I am Veronica, but I go by Ronnie, and people sometimes call me a psychic because I can read palms.
And what brings you to the Henny House, Ronnie?
Uh, I just like to explain to some of y'all that there are things that I can read, such as rivers on your palms. Um, People may not take it seriously, but I have proof. So if you'd like to contact me, you can.
And where
Um,
where can they contact you at?
my Instagram,
Which is
Veronica Rowe Ronnie.
well, we're shooting a for the people that are just getting here that don't know the backstory. We at the Henny House are actually shooting a reality show. People are asking, is it based around anything is possible? But we're shooting a reality show, and we're here with Ronnie, and she's here to tell you guys why she is the ideal candidate for the reality show.
Um, well, y'all may not believe me, but I'm a princess, a real princess. Uh, if you look at the palm of my hand, I
Can
own.
we see the poem?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
But
can you show us?
um, I don't know if.
We can. I can just zoom in from back there.
Okay. This finger right here has the river or sea that has a little peace sign.
Right,
So
right.
if you look at this one right here, move a little closer. I don't know if y'all can see it, but
Yeah, we can see it.
is it?
It's
Oh,
zoomed in.
okay. Well, on the middle finger is the Nile River, and on this finger is the Peace Sea or whatever.
And
But
what significance does that have to you? What does that mean to you?
it's a very big significance because most people don't know that I'm alive, but I'm related to Cleopatra and all that Egyptian family or whatever.
And who is Cleopatra? Because I drink a lot of Hennessy, and some people might not know who that is.
Well, Cleopatra is a female that was alive during the Alexandria uh, age or whatever. That's near Cairo. And Cleopatra, she practiced medicine, so she practiced healing as well. So I'm a healer if y'all don't believe me. But
How long have healers been around?
healers have been around for a long time, but you have to find the correct kind of person to um, be able to find the correct healing that you want. Most people have muscle aches, but they don't know how to actually practice it. You have to um, put energy into your palms, and it's kind of like praying. You know how Jesus, they said that he was a healer. He was and is, but you can use your hands to heal people.
Would you say that anything is possible?
Oh yes, anything is possible all the time. Henny is.
Have you ever tried Hennessy?
Yes, I've had one cup of Hennessy, a full cup, and let me tell you, I got so wasted. It was amazing.
It really doesn't take more than one shot for some people, but one cup is like a lot,
Yeah.
especially if it's like a full cup. So the chat is wondering where you come from, your background, what got you into this place, and what you feel like you would bring to the reality show. You can answer those in any particular order.
Okay, what was the first question?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you see, I would bring lots of things like my knowledge. I will tell you stuff that you probably don't know. Most things like um, just, you know, normal, typical stuff nobody would know, you know? Y'all don't think about the kind of stuff that most people think about daily. I don't know.
Would you say that most people are stupid?
No. I can bring out your intelligence. I can tell you what kind of river you own. I can tell you if you're a healer. I can read your body. If you have galaxy mark on your right hand. Um, yeah. But, you know,
The chat is wondering, have you ever been a social worker?
social worker, no, I haven't. But I have worked with troubled kids and told them how they can better themselves and be a better person altogether, because I believe in Jesus. And if y'all don't believe in Jesus, then y'all don't believe in me and that I exist. Because I am a princess of the Nile River, but most people don't know that I exist. So, by all means.
Understood. So, at what point did you realize you exist? Like, when did you come upon this wisdom?
I came upon this wisdom when I started paying attention to my hands. You're supposed to pay attention to your hands. Your hands literally show you what kind of river you own and stuff like that. And plus, I have an army, so if any of y'all are kind of sketchy, I own an army. So
And by army, you mean like goons or?
I guess you could say goons, but they support me, they protect me, stuff like that. So,
So you have a series of protectors that watch over you.
oh yes.
How did you find out about the Henny House?
Um, I found out from Alex or whatever.
How do you feel about Alex?
Oh, girl, let me tell you, she's so pretty. I like her music. I like her nails and stuff like that. But I met her one time and that's about it. We were supposed to smoke together, but I kind of turned it down. I felt really bad about it, actually.
You turned down a smoke session with Alex.
Yes, because y'all don't know how tired I was. I was smoking a pound a day with my boyfriend. I didn't know who she was. It was
You got
pretty.
to the point where you were smoking a pound a day.
Yes, I was smoking a pound a day, but I mean, Cairo has a city called Kush, right? Kush. So,
I'm not familiar with it.
oh, okay. That's okay.
But then again, I'm not a big weed guy. I'm more of a Henny man, personally.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. Henny is the way to go. One cup or one shot will get you messed up, but my tolerance is it's alright.
So for the people that aren't familiar with, can you go a little bit more in depth with your theory of the universe? Because a lot of people say that the world is a simulation. It's not real.
It is not a simulation. Like I said, I can explain to all of you guys what kind of markings you have on your skin, what everything means, what you own. Literally, your veins are running rivers, and it's up to you to make sure that these rivers run. And
So when you say that you own a river, you mean the entire river, or is it like a piece of the river?
um, well, my middle finger is actually the Nile River.
Your
It's
middle finger is the Nile River.
yeah.
Can we see your middle finger?
Fuck you haters, actually, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can post a picture later on if y'all want to check it out.
We're live in 4K HD.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's like a little peace sign. And that's the big river that's right next to the Nile River. It's not a river, it's actually like a sea or whatever.
So are the other fingers other rivers, or
Yes.
how does that work?
This one is the Saudi Arabian River, the Pinky. This one is the Peace Sea. This one's the Nile River, and this one is just basically Africa on my palm or whatever. But on the other hand, this is past. Egypt's past is on my right hand, and Egypt's future is on my left hand.
Got you. So all of these rivers, how many rivers are there in the earth for people to own? Because that's a lot of rivers you own.
Yeah, well, what I would say is all of y'all need to keep your hands underwater, because if you keep your hand underwater, your veins actually pop out more and you can learn a little bit more about what rivers run through your body. You know, some people say they're from Argentina and stuff like that. So you just gotta check your veins. Like, psychics are real.
For the people in the chat that are wondering if you're on a substance or if you're off that Henny, what do you have to say to them?
I'm not off the Henny, not yet, but I'm 100% sober. I don't do drugs or anything like that.
And when you say 100% sober, do you mean like 100 or
I'm
sometime?
100% sober. Like, I've been sober this whole entire year. I needed a tolerance break, actually, because, you know, smoking a pound a day gets you pretty whacked up.
And when you say a pound a day, you mean literally a pound, or is it this like?
I mean, it was with my ex-boyfriend because we were together for a long time and then we broke up, but we were together for maybe 3 or 4 years, but we were smoking literally a pound a day.
By yourselves?
By ourselves, yeah. We had lots of pieces. We had
I'm guessing this guy, like, this is your ex now, right? So it wouldn't be snitching to say that he probably grows weed if you're smoking a pound a day.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but we're not together anymore.
Anything wasn't possible.
What? Henny's possible. You know
But
that.
anything wasn't possible in that relationship.
No, not at all. No.
Why did that relationship come to an end? Is there something in particular that he did, or was it just a spiritual departure that you had to make?
Um, well, you know, he was a cheater, and first of all, he told me that he hasn't had past relationships and stuff like that. And the fact is, this guy had a kid and didn't freaking tell me. How messed up do y'all think that is? That's pretty messed up.
Was it a whole child or just a half
It
hour?
was a whole child. The mother ended up contacting me and telling me about this child. I was like, "Are you serious?" And I was just like, wow. And he wasn't like paying child support and stuff like that. So it was like really messed up because, you know, we were together at the time and I didn't know he was supposed to be paying child support.
So this, I'm guessing this didn't come up in his palm reading.
I didn't read none of his stuff because, you know, he has his own privacy and stuff like that. But
So you dated him, but you didn't read his palm.
no. I mean, he did have the galaxy mark on his right hand. Everybody from Africa nearly has it.
So he was from Africa. All right, let's get into some of these comments. Where is everybody checking in from? We're here with Ronnie, potential candidate for the Henny House reality show, spiritual healer, correct? Would you consider?
Yes.
If you have any questions for her, she's here right now to answer the questions for you. Someone in the comments said, if your ex is from Africa, does that mean you have jungle fever?
No. And I do not have Ebola, guys. That's serious. Like, I wish y'all would contribute to some of the campaigns out there to help people out there.
Ebola's like real?
I mean, they made a whole movie about it, I guess.
Anything is possible. We've got California in the building. We've got New York in the building. Baton Rouge, Colorado. The chat is saying to keep her. They're pretty interested to know more about your background. Someone here asked, what's your educational background?
Well, right now, I have my GED. Last thing I'm working on is language arts. And then after that, I have a scholarship. So, you know, after that, I'm going to pursue the education in forensic analysis. Forensic analysis is somebody that tells you if you're the father or not. But, you know, the Maury show, he asks you if you are the father or not the father. So my inspiration was the fact that my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend didn't tell me that he had a kid. I'm gonna possibly try to work for Maury on the Maury show and be his forensic analysis that decides whether the father of the child is really the father or not.
I mean, Maury's a cool guy, but wouldn't you much rather work at the Henny House?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, Maury's old. We the new wave. Maury could never get people like the likes of Alex to come on his show. With that being said, this guy that had the secret baby that wasn't in his palm reading, was he also trying to impregnate you, or do you think he was trying to set you up?
He was trying to set me up, guys. He was trying to take my expensive ass baby. I ain't having no babies right now, but y'all ain't know the worth of that kid. Like, I ain't ready for that right now. No way.
What do you have to say to the people that are looking to have kids soon and are in relationships? Do you have any advice for them?
Um, if your kid has like, uh, I don't know, if they act weird or something, y'all don't believe in magic, but you know, people do magic tricks all the time. So if your kid is being kind of weird or magical or something like that, you guys should believe it, you know? But I kind of forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
For the people in the chat that are saying delusional, what do you have to say to them?
I have all the proof that I need. You guys are the ones that are delusional, and
Do you have any proof that you don't want to present to us today?
proof I can post. I can post a picture of my palm, and if you guys don't believe me, y'all better get out.
So the proof is all in the palm. It's pretty
Yes.
much everything that you're saying is verified by the palm in the HD picture of the palm.
Yeah.
So is that the source of all knowledge? Would you say that someone is born with a palm that gives them the light, or is the light shine down after they already have the palm?
Anybody that has the palm needs to realize that they are part of Earth, and Earth is what makes you. You were born on this Earth. Wherever you were born from, wherever you have genetic information from, let's say you're from France or Greece, you guys just need to pay attention to your bodies and figure out what kind of river that your family grew up by or whatever, and I'm pretty sure I can read your river on your palms.
Someone in chat asked, do you have any experience or experimentation in DMT?
No, but I actually did meet one person that was cooking DMT. That was crazy. I was out of there. No way.
And when you say cooking, you mean the same way that I cook Hennessy with eggs, or?
Yes, he was whipping it up, putting crazy chemicals in there. I was like, what are you doing? I'm out of here.
The chat is calling you a sorcerer. What do you have to say to them?
I want to consider myself a sorcerer, but I can't do magic tricks.
Would you consider yourself a witch?
No. No.
I'm just reading names here on the chat.
That's okay. I wouldn't consider myself a witch.
What do you classify as a witch? Like, what's the definition of that to you?
Witches put spells and cast stuff upon you, you know? I don't do that. I help people. I wouldn't endanger somebody by putting a spell or a curse or something like that. You know, that's witches, they be cooking stuff up in the pot, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not like that. No.
So the guy that was cooking the DMT is probably the witch.
Probably, you know, he was mixing stuff, putting, okay, one thing I read was some kind of shoe cleaner. The ingredients that he was putting in there, some kind of shoe cleaner. I have no idea, but it smelled so chemically.
It smelled chemically.
Yeah, it was like very chemical smell. No way. It smelled dangerous, you know?
For sure. What What advice do you have to people that are wanting to get into palm reading? Because there are people that are in the chat right now that are interested in palm reading, and that is something that they are taking time to figure out. What advice do you have for them?
Um, Let me tell y'all, palm reading does not have to do with the creases in your hand whatsoever. You guys need to pay more attention to the veins in your hands. Literally, that is the most biggest thing that psychics and palm readers get confused. They pay attention to the creases in your hand. I mean, sure, that has to do a lot with it, but if I were to pay attention to creases in your hand, I'd pay attention to the feet instead of the hands. I'm not a foot reader. I'm not a foot reader, but I mostly read
There are
palms.
foot readers too?
Yes, there's foot readers, I swear.
Jeez. So are those like the people that are into the foot fetishes and stuff that ask people for? Because my girl Dodo, guys have offered to pay her money for pictures of her feet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's pretty common. I mean, she gets offered money for pictures of her feet about as often as I get offered to come to a club to drink Hennessy with people.
That's a little weird, but I was reading her palms while you were running around on the phone, and she actually does have, she's Argentinian or whatever, and I read her palms and stuff like that, but she does have the galaxy mark on her right hand, and she does have the main rivers of Africa in her palm. So that's how I know that we're gonna be pretty close friends.
And so the galaxy symbol means what for the people who are just now tuning in that don't know?
Okay, the galaxy symbol is like a little swirl on your right bicep. If you pay attention to that, it's like it can either help the galaxy swirl, because if the galaxy stops swirling, then that means the magnetic pole would actually fail on Earth. And if it fails, then that means that Earth would just shrivel up just like Mars and Mercury and Venus. So
What's your favorite planet?
my favorite planet is not Mars. It's, I would say Pluto, because it's the furthest away from the sun and it's cold. They say that, I mean, Pluto isn't a planet, you know? I don't know if it is, but they said that they don't consider it a planet anymore. So I don't know if it's part of the solar system, but they still teach us about
Anything is
it.
possible.
Anything is possible, yeah.
They're saying Pluto isn't a planet anymore. What do you have to say to them?
I guess y'all are right, but Pluto's my favorite because it's the coldest, just like my heart.
I feel you. I like Pluto too. Ever since Future came out with that album, I really have fucked with Pluto. I still consider Pluto a planet, personally. I don't feel like you can just exile a planet just because it spins around the sun a little weird.
Yeah, you're right.
With all that being said, we appreciate you coming out to the Henny House. I'm just going to ask a couple more questions before we get out of here. Would you say that you're a dramatic person?
No, I'm not dramatic. I just wouldn't consider anybody messing with me. I'm very open to random beliefs that everybody has and stuff like that. But
Would you say that you're here to help or hurt people?
I'm here to help people. I want people to open up to actual palm readings and body readings because it is real. And if you take into consideration of these things, then it would open up your mind a lot more to like space. Because if you have the galaxy mark is like a swirl. It also helps the ocean currents move because the ocean currents go in a circular rotation.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
My next question would be, what's your goal in life?
My goal in life is to help others and either become a scientist, because if you can study algae, in Australia actually glows once it hits the sand shores of the beaches. This algae or plankton, it ends up glowing, kind of like the northern lights in Antarctica and stuff like that. So this glowing algae is what I like to study or be a forensic analysis. So basically science. Most people aren't into that magical like stuff like that, but there's glowing lights in Antarctica and glowing algae in Australia that turns blue and stuff like that.
The chat is wondering, how old are you? You don't have to answer this question, Ronnie, but if you did have an age, what age would it be?
I'm gonna keep that personal to myself, but I am of age, so I don't want people to like ask me.
How do you feel about the Matrix?
Oh, the Matrix, guys. I'm so interested in the galaxy. I'm not a Star Wars fan or anything, but geeks are sometimes my favorite. You know, smart people. Smart people are the kind of people that I like to talk to.
I really dig smart people too, and I appreciate you sharing your some of your enlightenment with us today. Chat, do you have any more questions for Ronnie here? Let's see. Armando says, I need me a bunny like this.
Well,
the next question they have here for you is, what is your biggest fear?
I love spiders and snakes.
But that's not a fear.
It's not a fear, you know, but most people are. You know what I'm afraid of? My worst fear is getting kidnapped. No joke. There are some real big creepos out there.
And that's, I'm guessing you've never been kidnapped before.
No, but they have threatened me. I've gotten some crazy.
Do you believe that certain people attract kidnappers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would attract a kidnapper knowing my worth or whatever. They'd ask for like a ransom or something like that, but...
So you would say that you're like kidnap bait?
Yeah, freaking bait as fuck, bro. Like, I gotta keep a DL though. DL profile.
I feel you. Heroes Wears Boots asks, does she do tarot?
What the heck is that?
I'm not sure what that is, honestly.
No, sir, I don't do tarot. That sounds like a turmeric. Turmeric root. Turmeric root is like a vitamin.
Andrew asked, do you do drugs daily? But she's already said that she is 100% sober.
Yeah, 100% sober. I like to say sober because I like to know what's going on around me. You know, like I was reading on Daily Mail how there are these people that do date rape drugs and stuff like that. So that's dangerous.
Doing date rape, you mean these drugs? Like
they put them
willingly
in the drinks. Yeah, that's messed up, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like some shit someone would do if they were trying to kidnap you.
Exactly. So I'm staying clean, guys. I think y'all should too. But I'm 100% sober. I'm a good girl. I don't do drugs. Not anymore.
The chat is asking, have you ever participated in an IQ test?
I haven't taken one yet, but I'm pretty smart.
The chat is wondering if you have many friends.
I have 0 friends. Like, none.
Why would you say that is?
Because my parents, they don't really let me talk to anybody. But if I'd get some friends, I'd really appreciate it. Like, thank you.
Well, shit, drop your Instagram name. I mean, we know your name is Ronnie.
Yeah.
If you drop your Instagram name, I'm sure you'll get some followers from this. So where can they follow you on Instagram?
Veronica Rowe Ronnie. That's VeroNicaRoennie.
And for the dyslexic people in the chat, if you could drop that now below, so that the people that don't know will see it. Let's see. Howard in the chat says, "I'll be her friend." You mentioned your
Aw.
parents. Your parents have a tight grip on you.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of hard to come out here, but they trust me enough because,
I mean, it's the Henny House. Anything is possible with the Henny House.
yeah.
I'd let my kids come here for sure.
That's awesome.
Whole lot of Henny gang shit.
Yeah.
The last question we're gonna ask before we go ahead and get out of here is, what is your relationship with your parents?
My relationship with my parents is okay. It's just that they're very protective of me, knowing my worth and stuff like that. They don't really like me going out and hanging out with random people, because there has been situations where I've almost gotten kidnapped and all this other stuff.
This big K word comes up a lot with you. If we have you on the reality show, we wouldn't have to worry about you getting kidnapped, right?
No.
Well, there will be security, but yeah, it's just continue.
Uh, that's it.
So they're super protective. I'm guessing you live with them still.
Yeah, I do live with them. I actually have peacocks at my house and alpacas.
And what is that? What exactly does that mean?
Well, peacocks, their feathers, they sometimes fall off, so we collect them, and we actually allow people to come visit us and spend nights at our house, stuff like that.
I dig it. We have a lot of deer here. I've made friend with a few deer.
Yeah,
Most people shoot them, but they're pretty cool.
I saw the deer out front your house. There was actually 5 of them in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, they like to hang out. The entire family is welcome here at the Henny House. Deer actually take a strong liking to Hennessy for some reason.
My mouth starts to drool.
Well,
Yes.
when I mentioned that word, Hennessy,
Yeah.
anything is possible. And do you have any questions for me?
Actually, do you think anything is possible?
Where you at? Thank you for coming on, guys. This is Ronnie, candidate for Henny House reality show.